What's up, guys? This is Ian here, Coach of your Ladner Lantern, bringing you guys the weekly recap for Week 9 of the NCL Season 2 or the Nimbasa City League. This week marks the 75% completion point of the regular season. There are only 3 weeks left now that this week is completed, and things are really starting to spice up for playoffs. So make sure you guys go check out the playoff picture video where I talk about all of the clinching and elimination scenarios coming up during Week 10. And let's get right on to things now. So in terms of move kills this week, Ice Beam took over top spot with Earthquake getting, I believe, 0 kills. And so Ice Beam pulling ahead of it with now 22 kills. Right back where it belongs. Earthquake, you can stay down in the dirt. Thunderbolt in third with 17 kills, also not getting any kills either. There were 4 new unique move kills this week, putting us up to a total of 112, including stuff. High jump kick is the big one. I think everything else actually got multiple kills down there, so that's a little bit surprising, and I don't know where they all went. So yeah, there you go. But high jump kick getting a kill, which is kind of neat. Finally getting a kill, I guess I should say, from Serena, actually, which is not what I would have expected to get the high jump kick kill, but there you go. Ooh, excuse me. Staying at 11 unique Z move kills, but adding 1 to the total. So we are now at 11 unique Z move kills with 21 total Z move kills this season, which is actually quite a lot compared to last season. We barely had any. In terms of your kill leaders, Melodic staying at the top with 13 kills and a plus 11 differential. Volcarona picking up 6 kills this week, and so Volcarona moves up to 15 kills and a plus 11 differential. Melodic is higher than it because it has died less. It's also higher than it alphabetically, which is why the document sorts it that way. Otherwise, personally, I actually would have put Volcarona first because it has more kills than Melodic, but I'm just going with the order that the doc goes, and this could very easily change by the end of the season. There's still 3 more weeks. Kinkelder, still having not come to a game in the last 2 weeks, still in third with 13 kills and a plus 9 differential. We'll touch on that when we get to a few of the matches, though. So in terms of Jed ended up taking a loss this week to Dom and the Cleveland Cavaliers. This was absolutely game of the week, and it was really close down to the wire. Finished in a 1-0 victory for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Could have gone either way in all senses. This was a really big one because Jed and Dom were both tied for the 4th seed in the Hoenn Conference going into this match. Pardon my yawning. And Dom comes out in 4th, and Jed is now in 5th. So this leads Jed into a precarious position, and you'll see in the playoff picture video that his match in Week 10 matters a lot for a lot of teams. Next up is Austin, the Atlantis Raptors. They ended up taking a very close 2-0 loss to Ben and the Tampa Bay Weasels. It really looked like he was actually going to upset Ben the entire game. He had a lot of control throughout most of the game, and it just ended up sort of crumbling at the end there. Can't really knock him. He's still in a really good position in terms of playoffs. And again, check out the playoff picture video. I'm not going to touch on those in this. But despite his loss to Ben, Ben is the best record in the league. So, you can't really feel bad about that. Dom picking up his big win over Jed solidifies himself a little bit. Just that game edge over Jed for the wildcard 2 spot right now is really coming in clutch for him. And he's actually only a game behind now from 2 of the teams that are 5 and 4. So looking fairly solid for him. Nacho and the Detroit Terrivolts going 2 and 7 now, taking a loss to Jay and the UNC Wingles. Clefable is dumb. That's about all I have to say about this game. Clefable is really dumb. It just set up to +6 combine, +6 special attack, special defense, and defense, and it was just gross. Pardon my eye. There's not much Nacho could have done about that. He actually looked like he had a lot of control early game, and then Clefable just got to set up when Celesteela was dead and it was over. Matt played a very dominant game against Magic this week and absolutely destroyed him, completely obliterated him with a Volcarona. Magic got really unlucky by having the Volcarona not get paralyzed, and I was actually really surprised that Matt ended up not bringing Lumberry Volcarona, which would have completely stopped any of those shenanigans because Magic also got unlucky with a Thunderwave miss. Yeah, if he brought Lumberry Volcarona, then this game didn't ever come down to hacks, and unfortunately for each turn, there was a 25% chance that Magic was going to be able to take out the huge threat, and a 75% chance that Matt was just going to win the game. So, excuse me. So that's what ended up happening. Yeah, that was an easier opponent for Matt, based on record, of course. I don't judge any of the coaches based on their skill level because I do believe that any coach can take a game off of anybody in this league. It's just sort of the records show one thing, and that's where you can make assumptions, at least, is based on record. So uh, this was a match that Matt probably had to win and had to win big to sort of solidify his seed in the playoffs, and that's what happened. Um, Cade and the Krabby Dabby is taking a forfeit loss this week, and I guess I'll just talk about that now. So Cade has nothing to play for, and you can find out why if you watch Playoff Picture. So he's choosing to actually forfeit all of the rest of his matches. Um, so if you're tuning into the Pick'em series, then you'll notice that no one's going to be voting for him until the playoffs because no one wants to be losing Pick'em's points. Because he's opted to take forfeit losses through the rest of the season. So he doesn't affect anything, and he just moves on, taking in a loss and -3 differential. Myself, I'm the one who took the forfeit win off of Cade, so we remain only one game back from Ben. Same differential, and I'm only one game back. Looking really solid to end out the season here. My goal is to hit the record that I did last season, which was 10-2, and we'll see if I can pull that off. Daniel and the Seattle Raptors picking up a temporary forfeit win over Phil in the Wiltshire War Turtles, and I'll talk about this a little more when we get to Phil's, so I'm just going to skip over this now. Excuse me, Magic got absolutely bodied, and there's not much he could have done about it. Oh, excuse me. Maybe bring phasing next time would be my suggestion, or like a red card mod. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not sure if red card works on special attackers or not, but he ended up just giving Volcarona a free chance to set up, and that's not necessarily Magic's fault either. Matt played extremely well doubling around to get Volcarona in without taking Rock's Chip to keep his Sash alive, and unfortunately, Klefki missing a Thunderwave on Volcarona's Quiver Dance might have cost a lot more than it was deemed to, and Volcarona never got fully paralyzed, so that ended up sucking really hard. Ben picked up a win over Austin. Big win for Ben to stay ahead of me in the pack, honestly, because we've kind of just been trading win for win, win for win, win for win for a while now, and so it's really important for Ben, at least in terms of the division, that he keeps winning, or I lose. Either or. As long as he keeps that one game advantage, he'll be in a solid position to take the division. And there's only 3 weeks left. I'm sure he's looking to go 11-1 and just sweep the whole season, really, except for that one loss against Daniel. Jay ended up picking up a win, his second win of the season, so he's on pace to get his 3-win goal that he was looking for. Mega Camerupt is still not even close to the 5-kill goal that he set for it. Let me check. Yeah, it has 1 kill this season, so he's going to be looking to get 4 more kills with Mega Camerupt by the end of the season, I think. Unfortunately, he's just... The Mega Camerupt was just not... I mean, it fit the theme, but it's really just not good. That's about the extent of what I can say there. Yeah, so he's technically not eliminated yet, so he could be looking to play some upsets and he can still make playoffs at the stage as well. Last but not least is Phil in the Wiltshire War Totals, and you'll notice that he's dropped a little bit in the standings. He's unfortunately taken 2 temporary FF losses. His mother has fallen sick and he's been taking care of her. Big shout outs to Phil, and I want to reiterate that our thoughts are with him and his mother right now. Yeah, it's always hard, and I'm sure that he was in kind of a rough spot there. So we're trying to work around Phil as best as we can, and so I am calling these temporary FF losses just for my own sanity and for the sanity of the league in terms of standings. But he is given the opportunity, and I believe he is taking that opportunity to make up those matches when he comes back, which should be this week. I believe he is hoping to come back this week. So if it's not this week, then I'm really hoping that it's the next week. Obviously, he can have as much time as he needs, but we don't have all the time in the world to finish up the regular season. So there'll have to be a decision made if it ends up going on a little bit longer than the season. But yeah, so he's taken 2 temporary FF losses. Again, he can make those up. It is up to him to schedule with his opponents for weeks 8 and 9, which were Matt and the Green Bay Custodes and Daniel and the Seattle Raptors. Both of those are big matches because they're both in the same conference as him, and especially this one against Daniel because they're in the same division together. And you'll notice in playoff picture that a lot of scenarios have asterisks next to them. That's because those are clinching scenarios based on Phil taking the FF losses, which isn't necessarily likely, but that's just sort of how my brain works. So that's going to be it for me, and I will catch you guys for the playoff picture.